Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, yes, I'm still camping. Yes, arguably another gorgeous morning, unless you don't like rain or thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings. We've had quite a bit of weather, so I might have to go back to the campsite at some point in time to finish up this video. But thank you for coming along with me on my morning walk here as we talk about the news. So first up on the docket, we're talking about EmuReady, and EmuReady has gone open source. For those who may not be aware, EmuReady is a community-driven platform for tracking emulation compatibility across different devices and emulators. And it seems to be shaping up very nicely. Under the overview, it says EmuReady helps users share and discover emulation compatibility information across different hardware and software configurations. Users can contribute compatibility reports, vote on listings, and discuss specific game device emulator combinations. If you're curious about EmuReady and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, links are in the description below right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. But moving on, and next up we're talking about SaveState. And for those who may not be aware, we've talked about SaveState more than a few times on the channel. Anyways, here it's a user-friendly GUI application for Windows. I'll put a star beside Windows, and we'll get to that in just a second, to easily back up and restore video game save files, especially useful for games without cloud saves or for managing multiple save locations. And it is compatible with emulators, and it just got updated. So at the time of filming, SaveState version 1.4.0 is the latest update. And they say here, full Linux support, new Windows emulator, and more. This is a landmark release. SaveState takes a massive leap forward by introducing full compatibility with Linux operating systems. But the news doesn't stop there. To ensure our Windows users aren't left out, we've added support for a new emulator and significantly improved the initial setup experience for everyone. So the new emulator they've added is Shad PS4 emulations, although that is only on Windows. I think this is a massive release for SaveState. I think this is extremely exciting, especially if you've got something like a Steam Deck. This could be a very handy application. For the enhanced start settings, it says automatic folder creation and smart drive management. For example, for the smart drive management, if the default drive for your saves doesn't exist on your computer, the SaveState will now intelligently suggest another available drive. And taking a look as well at the very bottom, there is a shout out to me, Mr. Sujano. I wanted to extend a huge thank you to the YouTuber Mr. Sujano for consistently covering SaveState and sharing news about the program with his awesome community. Your support and videos are incredibly appreciated. Well, thank you very much. Realistically here, I'm really excited for SaveState, and I'm curious to see what's next and how this progresses. And on a side note here, you probably noticed I'm back on the campsite. I got caught in the rain while I was recording this. Fortunately, I was able to make it back to the campsite before the rain came down too hard. And it is starting to increase in precipitation, increase in volume. It's raining harder. Anyways here, can't believe I stumbled on the words for that one. Anyways here, Mrs. Sujano is sound asleep. I'm doing my best to be quiet, not to wake her up, but I'm assuming the rain is gonna wake her up here. The birds have mostly quieted down as well. But moving on from that, next up we're talking about Nvidia. And Nvidia is facing a little bit of controversy right now regarding some of their decisions surrounding the RTX 5060 and reviews. So it's being reported that Nvidia has given select outlets access to its upcoming RTX 5060 driver to create strict preview articles about the new mid-range Blackwell GPU. That, to me, says more of marketing than true reviews. There's a very informative article over on Tom's Hardware, and it says here, apparently the previews could only compare the RTX 5060 to the RTX 3060 and 2060 Super. The list of allowed titles is reportedly limited to Avowed, Doom the Dark Ages, Marvel Rivals, Cyberpunk 2077, and Hogwarts Legacy. The settings must be configured to 1080p resolution, ultra image quality, DLSS in quality mode, and ray tracing. That is not very extensive testing in my opinion. Now it's worth noting those are for previews of the RTX 5060, which I would probably take with a grain of salt. They say here that Nvidia has opted to stop reviewers from starting their GPU testing until launch day, which is May 19th. That is not very good in my opinion. If you're trying to gain trust with your audience, with your consumers, why would you restrict reviews until the day of launch? That does not give reviewers any time to take a look at the GPU to compare it to release good results without really risking integrity. I don't know on this one. I think Nvidia is, maybe they know what the 5060 is capable of. Maybe they're trying to hide something. Maybe they're anticipating it's going to be reviewed very unfavorably and just hoping that people buy it before reviews are out. I don't know here. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. And speaking about stuff arguably not doing well, next up we're talking about Bungies Marathon. Now, we talked about Bungies Marathon just the other day when Bungie admitted that Marathon had stolen artwork in it. Anyways here, this is a report over on Forbes and it's being talked about by a lot of people. It seems that morale at Bungie is at an all-time low and things are not looking good. I recommend taking a look at the article over on Forbes. I don't think it's behind a paywall, but it says that Sony and Bungie Legal are now sorting through this. I think they're taking a full look at the game here to see if there's any other stolen assets anywhere. Morale is in free fall across departments. The vibes have never been worse. Everyone has the same concerns about what happens to Bungie as a studio if Marathon bombs, which is something they absolutely cannot afford. On top of that, it's being reported that Bungie has pulled the plug on its main Marathon marketing plan. It didn't showcase game footage in the latest live stream, and developers are worried that the game isn't going to be successful because it doesn't have PvE. All of those, I say, are a recipe of disaster. Let me know your thoughts about this one and let me know if you think Marathon will be successful upon launch. And speaking about advertising, next up we're talking about Microsoft and their new ad campaign. There's a brand new video on YouTube they posted here titled "We're Faster Than a Mac." And they claim that Copilot and PCs are up to 58% faster than Apple's last gen M3 MacBook Air. Let me know your thoughts about that one. Take a look at the ad and provide your feedback. I'm very curious to see. I think this is very bold from Microsoft, and this kind of reminds me of advertising from like back in the 90s, early 2000s. On a quick side note here, I do recommend getting some popcorn to read the comments on that video. I mean, the video titled "We're Faster Than a Mac. Here's how much faster." The top comment says, "Congratulations, you managed to beat a computer released over a year ago." And then there is, wow, their $1,650 laptop is 58% faster than a $1,200 laptop from nearly 2 years ago. I'm assuming there's probably some Apple fans that are commenting on here and maybe some people who just don't like Windows. I don't know. It's a very interesting scenario overall. And I do recommend giving these a read if you're looking for a chuckle. And speaking about getting a chuckle, last up here, we're talking about the comparison between Pokemon Scarlet and Violet between the Switch 1 and Switch 2. So yesterday I posted something over on the community tab on this YouTube channel showcasing some Switch 1 versus Switch 2 visuals for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And the comments on that are pretty interesting. So I'm on my YouTube channel right now, and it's not called community tab anymore. It's called posts. I don't know when YouTube changed that. Maybe it was a while ago, maybe it was recent. I don't know. I really didn't realize. Anyways, here, taking a look at the post in the comments, the top one here, they took it from absolute garbage to trash, and it really shows. Good job on the folks at Game Freak. No amount of specs will make it any less underwhelming. It looks like a Nintendo 64 game with an HD trees texture pack, I'm not gonna lie. The extra Pokemon even look photoshopped in, LOL. A lot of this stuff is gold. I mean, the comment section doesn't normally ever disappoint, and even when I'm camping and it's thunderstorming and tornado watches and all of that, I can still have a pretty good laugh from a lot of you, so thank you for those comments. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. It was really hard to try to get a fluff in on this video. I mean, it's raining, the fluffs are hiding, and well, I'm also hiding underneath a canopy, so I'm not gonna get soaked. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.